Hi, today I'm Lucy Looker and I'm reporting for the Foreave Stars International. Now, just in case some of you don't know who Lucy Looker is, I'm the reporter for the Foreave Stars International and I've been around since oh my goodness, let me see. She started in Australia. Lucy Looker reported for the Social Club. As the Social Club reporter secretary, I made up this magazine at the Australian Broadcasting Corporation, and out came Lucy Looker. Well, anyway, Lucy Looker is my persona as an entrepreneur for the Foreave Stars International, which is a worldwide entertainers, entrepreneurs cooperative. And today I'm really excited because Lucy Looker is going to be reporting on none other than Katie Carragher. Yes, Kate Carragher.
Carragher.
Oh, Corrie. Actually, we're not at the comedy show tonight. That's on Monday. We've had a little bit too much of the old nippy nip. But anyway, we've got our hors d'oeuvres. And just so that you know, can you zoom on into that, Tyler, so everybody can see Lucy Looker when she got married in Las Vegas to Elton John lookalike. Anyway, let's put it. Did you get that, Tyler? Yeah. You got it, Tyler? No, he never answers me. Gosh, it seems like I have that all the time. Anyway, so I am going to get back to Katie Carragher. I'm better at writing than I am talking. I'm Lucy Looker, and I write for the Foreave Stars International Cooperative. Anyway, so I'm going to hand it over to Katie. Before I do, though, I noticed she told me something. I told her to write a few things down. Katie comes from Australia, and her mum and dad are Sue and Ian Carragher. That's funny. They've got the same last name. But anyway, the questions Katie has given me are things that I probably would ask her, and if I hadn't had too many drinks, I could probably read her writing. So I think that I'll just leave that there and hope that I can see it eventually. Anyway, Katie is a creative dabbler. Yes. I put dappler. I think dappler sounds pretty good. Sounds like you're dappy. But anyway... So, Katie, I'm going to hand it over to you a little minute because we had a little bit of a problem with the microphones. Oh, this is a message. I don't know if I'll put it on. I might edit it out, but I doubt it. Matt, darling, and Dominique, and Mark and Skip, and Jared and Oscar and all the other wonderful people at the TVSP. Poor Tyler had to use this 2 cameras here tonight and the microphone that goes on our suit, or a dappler suit, didn't work. So anyway, we're using the microphone. So I'm going to hand this over to Katie, who's been traveling the world. And the first time I heard where she was in Hawaii. So I would like Katie to tell everybody just what the heck's been going on. She actually... she started her career, she says, what is that? Well, I can't read your bloody writing. When did your artistic career start? Okay, Katie wants me to ask her, when did her artistic career start? Well, I'm sure she was like being creative. If you ask Sue, her mum and her mother, and then her dad, they'd probably tell her the moment she came out into this world from her mother's womb, she's been creative. So Katie here, no more ado. It's Katie Carragher from the Aussie Bands Co-op. She's going to share her story with you of traveling the world as an entrepreneur and a creative dabbler.
Sure. Well, thank you. Thank you for having me here.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome, Katie.
Well, I'd have to say it probably is right. It's probably been since I was pretty much born, since I've started doing my art career. So Mum thinks I was like born with a pencil in my hand. So I've got pictures of me pretty much writing since I was little on everything from the walls to
oh my goodness.
clothing, everything. And I also started doing modelling and acting when I was 2.5 years old.
Wow. Well,
So
she's beautiful, isn't she?
no.
I've always thought Katie was a beauty.
I was in like bathroom ads, so I was that kid that was like, when people said, "Oh, how embarrassing would it be to be that kid, on that toilet ad?" Well, that was me. So, but
And in Australia, that was
in
right?
Australia,
Nice.
yeah, I actually come from the Central Coast, Australia.
That's very
So,
beautiful there.
Now I'm in Central Coast, California.
Isn't
So,
that interesting?
Yeah. But so I've basically been, dabbling in all different art forms since I can remember, and that's because of my family. My mum's an artist, and so basically our whole house is like an eclectic kind of gallery. So,
Nice.
yeah, so we have walls covered with, all our different paintings and different artistic endeavours, and we even have like our toilet's painted. Our letterbox is painted.
Nice.
Walls, doors, everything's painted.
Wow, that sounds
So,
exciting.
yeah, so
What made you decide to start travelling the world, though? Why not just stay in Sydney? Is that where you're from? 'Cause
Just
you
north
live
of
in
Sydney.
North Sydney, right?
Yeah.
That's over the Opera House and also the
Yeah.
Harbour Bridge, which I was amazed. Katie's, family. Katie's like a... Oh, sorry, that's right. But I've got such a loud voice. I'm sure it's going right across there. Yeah, Katie's like part of the family. And the thing that I thought was amazing was, Jessie Hughes. Is that her name? Jessie Hughes. And she and Adam, they actually they hiked up the Harbour Bridge or something. And I thought it was truly amazing. So you actually live near the bridge.
I did. I lived there for 2 years, and I was actually...
Hang on a minute.
Yeah, I did live there. I lived in the street next to where the Harbour Bridge started. I lived there from when I was born till I was 4 years old.
Oh, really?
And then I moved back there for the last 2 years. But I've now moved back home to the Central Coast, which is where my family lives. So
I see.
I've
That's
just
where everyone
moved. Yeah, but I'm not really moved because I'm just travelling for the next couple of years. So basically how it started, since I was a little kid, I've been, looking at world, globes, maps, everything, consuming everything I could possibly think of to do with other countries. And all I ever wanted to do was travel. And I also basically studied journalism to become a travel journalist. However, life just takes you on different pathways. And
that's true.
I did work for a travel magazine for a little bit, but I ended up moving into government and politics.
Oh, my.
And and that was definitely an experience and
What did
something
you exactly do in the...
I worked as a media advisor for local government as an industry. So I used to write speeches and articles and media releases and branding.
Wow.
And that was fantastic, and it was a really good experience, and I learnt a lot. But it wasn't ideally what I wanted to do. So I've now left that, and I'm basically travelling the world to see, get some inspiration and, just to absorb different cultures and see where that takes me. I've always battled between whether I follow writing as a passion or art as a passion or photography or design. And earlier this year, I just decided that I didn't really need a label. I didn't need to stick to one career, that I could do all of it and just put it out there. So I started posting illustrations and some of my photography on a Facebook page.
Oh, where can if people do want to get in contact with you? Oh, hang on. So, folks, if you do want to get in contact with Katie, you can find her on Facebook, and it's...
Kate.
Hang on a minute.
It's Kate Carragher Creative. So Carragher is spelled Carragher. And if you look it up on Facebook, there's links to a lot of my artworks, my articles, photography, and also a blog that I'm launching next year.
Wonderful. So everybody will be able to check that out. Also, that's why you really feel you were talking about your family, the influences. So tell us a bit about your traveling and when you started and what you've been doing. She's been charging all over the place, folks. Here she is again, Kate.
Well, I got here 3 months ago. So I started in Hawaii and I was an MC at a very good friend's wedding and then headed to Vegas. So stayed in the MGM and my amazing friends shouted me a couple of days at the end. Ooh.
Shouted means that they paid for her. I know, I say that in my song.
Yeah.
If the creek don't... Oops, no, I should say that was done by Ravel Foreman, the Lads Band. If the creek don't rise, and she actually says shout in that, meaning... You know, that somebody is kind enough to pay your way for something. Yeah. They actually shouted for you. Yeah. Here you go, Katie.
Yeah, so they shouted me a week, like in Las Vegas, and took me to Cirque du Soleil and
oh my goodness,
Madonna. And
Madonna.
Yeah, and then I moved from the MGM down to once they left, I went back to my backpacking budget, moved down the other end of the strip where... When the taxi driver went to drop me off, said, I don't want to leave you here. And I was like, I don't want you to leave me here. It was next door to a massive sign that had strippers and had blow-up dolls hanging off it. But it ends up being a really fantastic experience. And from there, I've gone to 10 national parks, including sleeping under the stars in Joshua Tree, which was magic, and watching the mist roll through, Yosemite. Went up to Canada, down through Seattle, Washington, San Francisco, which completely stole my heart. And I worked with my favourite designers and photographers there. And yeah, then I basically just been couch surfing. So I've been using the website to go and stay with different people from all over America and ended up meeting another...
Tell the folks about this. Couch surfing, folks, is like... When I used to travel around, I started traveling in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and we used to do youth hosteling. Everywhere you went in a youth hostel, and that's how you met folks, and you made friends, and then you found out the fun things to do. Or you hitchhiked, which is what I did a lot, going across Southeast Asia and everywhere. But now there's this whole new thing called couch surfing. Why don't you explain that?
Yeah. So couch surfing is basically like a little culture that I think they've actually up to 4 million subscribers or people that are on the website. And it's based on an honour system. So people review people they're staying with to say, yep, they're cool to stay with, or watch out for this. And so I suppose it's like a safer version of hitchhiking, but not quite as safe as... maybe doing youth hosteling. So, but the difference is that you're actually staying with a local and you're actually getting to know the culture that you're staying in. So the place you're staying in, you're getting to know the people that live there. And I know that if I was back at home, I'd definitely be hosting because I've met some of the most fantastic, amazing people from couch surfing. I also ended up sleeping in a house where the guy had a little book saying psychopath test and next to a room full of chainsaws. So that was an interesting experience.
Oh but you're all right.
Yeah. No, I think it was a bit of a joke, but it was a really I've gained so much from it, and I definitely want to continue traveling the world doing couch surfing. So, yeah.
So, all right. So tell me, in regards to all the traveling and what you're actually doing, in your business called Creative Dabbler, how do you go about as you go from place to place? What's actually happened to you? I remember you said you had an amazing experience when you were in San Francisco, and you met some people, different photographers and so forth, and that you actually met a photographer that you stayed at in East LA. Yeah. Was it East LA or Sunset? But it was a beautiful home apparently. Yeah. So anyway, so share some of this stuff and how it's helped you as far as an entrepreneur, as a creative dabbler.
Yeah. Basically, because I'm traveling, and I've found that a lot of people that travel are generally creative people. So when I've been meeting, and when I've been meeting people, they've basically just been saying, please come and stay with me. And I haven't been seeking it, but I've just been telling them what I've been up to. And this has opened a lot of opportunities for me. So I've been learning from some amazing people, and I ended up actually traveling with another photographer I met in San Francisco through down through San Diego, out through Arizona, and up through Joshua Tree as well.
Wow.
And so he was teaching me a little bit about night photography and a few other things. So it's given me a lot of opportunities, and it feels like since I've just started traveling I've given up the trying to drive for one specific career,
Right.
that it's actually opening doors for me, and opportunities are presenting themselves everywhere. So and I've just done some illustrations for a fashion label in Australia as well. So
Nice.
and that's just from seeing where the road takes you, I think.
Right. Oh, sorry. So I remember you were saying something also that when somebody that you met, anyway, I think it was, was it the couch surfers that you actually advertised, or there was something else you were advertising? Explain that.
I ended up modelling for couch surfers, so I'm going to be on their website.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. So what is that, couch surfers?
I've been on their promotional material.
Couchsurfers.com or?
Yeah, I think it's couchsurfing.org or couchsurfers. I should look that up properly. I'm not a spokesperson, but I just saw when I was looking at it, they said we're doing a photo safari, and I thought that sounds fun, and so pretty much I've just been saying yes to whatever's going within limits to go traveling to these different spots, but it's opened up all these doors. So
that's exciting.
Yeah, and
exciting.
Yeah, so.
And a little birdie told me that Katie is actually going to be working on a book, folks. So I'm not sure how much she wants to tell you right now, but when she does come back over again, I hope that she will come and see us so she can tell us about her new book.
Yeah. I am working on a little book. It's basically about the last 10 years of my life. I can't reveal too much at this stage, but it is looking at a whole range of different things, from love to trauma to how all of that shapes our lives and even countries. So, I'm looking into it at the moment. I will be writing it, and it should be coming out within probably about 2014. But in the meantime, I'm actually working on a blog as well that will talk a little bit about that. It brings in a whole heap of things. It's probably a bit of a combination of born supremacy cross eat, pray, love is probably the best way to describe it. So, we'll see what happens. A lot of people say I kind of have a bit of a life. It's a little bit like, like when you sit next to Forrest Gump or something. So, I'm working on that over the next year while I'm traveling. So I am looking at maybe going to Asia to write that, so I can sit on a beach and really get it out. But I have been doing a little bit as time goes by, because I'm obviously learning a lot through my travels. And so
fantastic.
Yeah.
If you do actually go to Southeast Asia to write your book, one place that I went to was with Henry, my partner at the time, my husband way back when, Henry Foreman. He and we travelled across the world and having marvellous time, of course, back in 1972, I think it was, 74 or 77. Anyway, we went to a place called Ranta Abang, that's how you say it, Rantauabang, and it's where all the turtles actually come and lay their eggs. And it was a very exciting time. And the hut, there was like a couple of huts on the beach, and we rented a hut for it was ridiculous. It was $1 American a night, so it might be $5 a night now. Yeah. But anyway, it was unbelievable, and the people there that lived, running these huts, they actually make all the food for you and everything, and it was wonderful. So that would be the most perfect place to start writing your book, which I too have been told so many times to write my book. So maybe that will give me the inspiration. Maybe we should just meet up sometime there. Well, anyway, Kate, is there anything that we've forgotten to talk about? So why don't you think and speak to the people and just tell them any more that you might want to tell them?
No. I'm trying to think what I can say. Well, I've got a few projects in the pipeline at the moment. So, at the moment, I'm returning. When I return back to Oz, I'm going to be working on 2 exhibitions. So, one of them is actually a family exhibition. So, every member of my family will be painting a picture, and this will be going into a little gallery on the Central Coast, which is just launching at the moment. And yeah, so we'll basically be showcasing a lot of our work there.
Let's reiterate, Central Coast in Australia.
Australia.
No, you never know.
We could bring it over here.
Yeah.
And I'm also working on another one on a joint project with a very talented artist from Town, which is our little nickname for our local town.
Town?
Town. Yeah. He's very talented, very different style.
Is that his name?
No,
that's the name of the town that you come from.
That's what he calls a lot of our local stuff. He's a very talented artist, very kind of Picasso-like, and I work in a much more realistic medium, so we're going to combine our different styles to do a series of portraits.
Oh, very nice.
And I'm also working on the book and the blog, which is launching, and just doing a bit of freelance writing. And I've also been asked to work at a gallery. So. Oh my goodness, you got a lot going on. Yeah, but it's all fun, so why not?
Well, Kate, so tell us when we might be able to see you again. And, it would be lovely to hear all what you've been up to again.
Yeah, well, I'm hoping I'll be back here probably May. Well, actually, on this side of the country, maybe about July, August.
Oh.
So I'm heading back.
To Santa Barbara, you mean?
Yeah. Because
California.
as Lucy Looker can attest, I kind of don't normally plan things except for my work things. When I'm traveling, I just kind of say, "Hi, I'm coming today."
I know.
Oops. Yeah, so I just kind of see where the road takes me and go with it. But it's led me to some fun things. So I've managed to end up in a Bollywood film as a backup dancer.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
I didn't hear that one.
Yeah, when I got to London on my first day travelling, I ended up in a Bollywood film.
Oh,
and it was quite funny because it was it was actually a Punjabi movie, which is a region. Yeah, Punjabi, which is a region in India. And when I called home to tell my parents that I'd somehow ended up in this film, my mum couldn't hear quite right, and she's like, "What? You're in a porno?" I'm like, "No, Mum, I'm not in a porno. Please don't tell everyone I'm in a porno." She's like, "What? A Punjab movie?" "No, Mum, I'm not in that movie." "Dad, please make sure Mum doesn't tell everyone that." And yeah, so I think doing things last minute sometimes is the best way.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Talking about Punjabi state, I love Punjabi. I love India. I adore India. And I remember traveling through India and eating that incredible food that the Punjabi people, the Sikhs, who are amazing. I love Indian people. Brings back wonderful memories of traveling through India. And just loved Agra and the Taj Mahal and all that. And just traveling up to Darjeeling where they make the tea. And catching that crazy bus across to Nepal on the mountains. Anyone that's done that knows it's a crazy trip. Amazing. And they stop and then you have the Gandra on the way. It's like, oh my gosh, we're going to fall off this bus. And they have goats and everybody else that getting on the bus too. And I don't know how those bus drivers actually hold on to the edge because they're like, woo, you just like really go over. It's amazing views though. The Himalayas, Nepal are amazing views. So yeah, so you were in this movie, but they actually took it in London.
Yeah.
Well,
it was in
London.
front of the Swiss clock in Leicester.
Front of the Swiss clock in Leicester Square. Can you hear even if somebody isn't holding the microphone, Tyler?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's yeah. Okay, so that doesn't matter then. Well, let's see. I think that, so you're leaving to Australia on Tuesday. Yeah. Oh, Everybody must be very excited to get you back home, yeah?
Yeah, I think some people are.
We had such a lovely time with her. She spent Thanksgiving with us.
Yeah,
that was
very
just a
cool.
very nice. I know, and the next thing, she's in, she's out, she's off again. You remind me so much of myself when I was your age. I was traveling like that, and it is very exciting when you do it that way. Traveling is just unbelievable, and people, it's a great way to understand people in the world to travel.
It's important.
I think so too. Well, let's say a farewell to Kate and thank her very, very much for coming to Santa Barbara and being on the TVSB Mini Woodstock Festival for January. So thank you so much, Kate.
Thank you, Lucy Looker. It's been great to be able to come here, so thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Well, I think that we've had a really good time reporting for the Lucy Looker segment.